lazy bum. This might not be very exciting today. Stella's in her bed hiding. Percy's in there. Oh, he's coming out. Here's Hank. Lionel is actually not being a mama's boy, and he's out. Wilson is out in the other sense. And Zelda. Get my finger out of the way. Quiet in here today. What do you want with my phone? What do you want with my phone? What's up, Hank? Hey, Lionel. What do you want with my phone, Hank? Hey, Larry. I think they're all, you know, mostly all just interested in relaxing right now and don't really care about running around at the moment. Percy has the sneezes and has for the past couple of days. I don't know if I need to take him back to the vet or what, but he keeps sneezing. Not interested, huh? Okay. Wilson's asleep with his mouth open. Guess you can see that. What are you guys doing back there? The other four all congregated over here. I'm gonna mess them up, but I'm gonna move this out of the way so everybody is visible. I don't know what they're doing. Trying to climb the wall, I guess. That's a lino. I'm not sure what you got going on there, Zelda. Jake, I have no idea. Or Jake Duffner fan. I don't think your name's actually Jake, but I don't know, they're just street cats. Or would have been street cats. They don't have to live on the streets anymore. Wilson, you gonna join us? He says no. I'm busy doing other things. What are you trying to do? Oh, I see. The shadow on the wall. I have to be careful with how long I let this go today. These guys are pretty playful most of the time, but I fed them before I left and came back and they were all napping. But like I say, I have to kind of watch how long I let this one run because Melanie's not here today and she's got the battery pack to recharge the phone in her purse. So if my battery gets low, there's not really much I can do other than just plug it into the wall. No. Quite the contrary from a breeder. We just rescued a couple of cats and we're fostering the kittens until we can get them adopted. These guys are 7 weeks, 8 weeks old now. Yeah, I believe 8 weeks. We'll go and see the other kittens in a minute. They're 13 weeks old. And as I said, let me move this back over here. I want that far enough away from the desk and the table that they're not jumping up on anything. Their mom. Thank you, Clay. We're trying, and I know you probably can't see anything in there. Clara hides out in there all the time until we leave. She'll come out periodically through the day. Excuse me. But most of the time she's down there. She comes out at night and runs around and plays with them, but she won't do that during the day while we're here. For whatever reason. It's like she knows when we're here and when we're not. So if you don't know their names, that is Wilson. That's Hank. And when the other two come out, I'll show you them. Guess I can maybe show you this one, possibly. That's Zelda. In there, who you can't see is Stella. Oh, there's one out. This is Percy. Turn around, Percy. And that one is Lionel. Lionel looks pretty similar to Zelda. You have to look at their front right paw. Zelda has one gray toe. It's usually the only way I can tell them apart. There's some other very small differences, but at a glance, that's the easiest way for me. And I moved this thing over here to get it away from the desk, and they're just going crazy behind it where you can't see them. What's up, Hank? Alright, we're at 13 minutes here, and for the sake of not running out of battery, we will go show you the other kittens. Let me slide this over there. I just want it where they can't jump on things while we're not here. Most everybody has already seen the permanent residents. But if you haven't, that's Lily. She was the first cat that we brought in, and we let her stay for good. This is Stumpy. We call her Stumpy because of that. I call her security guard Stumpy because our monitor for the streams is right there. It stays on all the time, and typically she's sitting right there watching it. And there's Miss Clara. We've got one missing. There she is. That's George. There's Doc. Lorraine is sound asleep. And who I thought was missing was Maggie. These guys generally hop up and socialize when I come in here. Hey, Mags. Sorry if it gets a little dark over here. It's not as dark as it used to be. And Clara spent the whole day, well, pretty much the whole day, yesterday and today, in the main room with Lily and Stumpy hanging out with me. I think they've finally accepted her. They don't want to be right up next to her, but they don't bother her when she's out anymore. They mostly mind their own business, and she minds hers. Hey, George. Oh, hello, George. I swear my hand is not really that red. I don't know why it looks like that in here. Looks like I've been out in the sun for 2 days. There's a better view of Lorraine, who's still not waking up for me. Neither is Doc. But they all had a couple of visitors today, and I've been in and out of here a few times today. They've all been fed. And say this is their alone time. And I'm trying not to jinx myself or get ahead of myself, but someone is coming to meet Clara Thursday afternoon. They're supposed to be here to meet Clara and see if they might want to adopt her. George says lap time. I know you go down. Everybody's so happy to see me. You are, though, George, aren't you? Past few days when I've come in here, George has been acting really crazy. So I'm surprised he's just hanging out today. I don't know. It's possible that they ran around being crazy as soon as I left. I had to go to a meeting at 5:30 this afternoon, so I left here at about 5:15, right after I fed everybody, and that's usually when they get wild. But they don't seem to have too much energy to do much else than just lay there right now, I guess. They're not wound up like they usually are. Come here, Claire. But hopefully things are going to work out with Clara. I'm going to hate to see Clara go. Outside, 90 something. I don't know exactly. It's hot and humid. But that's just the weather we're dealt in the summertime here in Alabama. It's nothing unusual. The only thing that's been unusual this year is all the rain we've gotten. You know, normally it rains April, May, and first part of June, and then it's hot, humid, and dry. When I say dry, just no rain. But this year it's been hot, humid, and rained a lot. I wish the lighting was better so you could see Clara. I think we had our hottest temperature one day last week. I think it was last Thursday. It got up the upper 90s. Heat index was 105, 106, something like that. I've lived here all my life and you never get used to it. It's always brutal. You just made yourself at home, huh, George? Well, sorry they're not being more entertaining today. This is yet another sign that they've gotten older and they're turning into more cat than kitten. Yeah, they say the desert is a dry heat, but I mean, I equate that to sticking your head in an oven. It's still hot. But the person that's interested in Clara wants a lap cat. And she is that, and she would probably be in my lap, but this one got here first. Yes, she is, Clay. I didn't mention it to anybody, but I was hopeful that we'd find homes for all the kittens, and Clara would kind of lag behind and just sort of stay here. But I mean, it's an office. There's already 2 cats here. I don't know that we need another one. But plus, she's such an affectionate cat. I think she would do well, or better, in somebody's house where there's people there all the time. I mean, rather than, you're about to fall, Clara. Rather than here 8 to 5 or whatever, which is, I mean, the normal routine with Lily and Stumpy before the kittens were here, where it was, we come in at 8, leave at 5, Monday through Friday, and then come check on them once a day on the weekends, something like that. And there's Clara being belly cat more than lap cat, because George got the lap. But yeah, Lily and Stumpy were just kind of, I understand, Clay. We've got 8 at home right now. We had 4 until a couple of years ago. A stray wandered up, and she was really sweet, and we fed her for a little while and tried to figure out who she belonged to, and never found her owner, so she stayed, and that was 5. Stumpy came along last summer. I trapped her when she was pregnant, and she had the kittens in the other room where Stella is. We fostered all of them. There were 5. Got them adopted. 2 of them came back. And by coming back, I mean they came to our house. And the rest is history with them. They stayed. And then Clara's brother was also outside. I mean, they were both together. They hung out together. I trapped Clara before I was even able to pet him. He was still pretty feral. George, did you mean to fall down, or did you just roll off? Anyway, I trapped Clara. I brought her inside, so he was outside by himself, and I finally earned his trust and started to pet him. And we thought we had somebody who was going to adopt him, and things just kind of went sour on that deal, and we were kind of concerned that something might happen to him, so we took him home with every intention of finding a home for him. But it's like a vacuum. When they get to our house, they're sucked up, and that's the end of that. So he's number 8. Plus 2 dogs. I wish you guys would wake up and play around or something. Yeah, I think the black hole is finally plugged up, though. Otherwise, I would be keeping her. And had she not been pregnant and I trapped her and it was the same situation as her brother, I probably would have kept her and tried to find a home for him instead. But just kind of the order of things, how things happened. So he's at our house, and I hope she's going to have a good home soon. We were talking to a rescue group, and she offered to help us get her into PetSmart to see about getting her adopted there. And I mean, I know it's a good thing, and people adopt cats from there, but I really hated the notion of, after her being here and seeing her every day, of putting her in a pet store. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm attached to her. Didn't want to do that to her. I really wanted all of them to get adopted from here before we have to go that route. If it doesn't happen, we'll do what we need to. George, I think your brother just wants to nap right now. You got him stirred up now. You falling back asleep too, or you sucking on the bed? I digress. I am at, let's see, 27 minutes. Go another minute or so and wind it down. Still have this litter box to clean in here, and one more, or two more actually. Lily and Stumpy's out in the main room before I can leave. Yeah, George is fine. George is just being George. Now he's trying to eat his tail. And Doc wants to be a mama's boy, and she says no. Claire's been fixed, so he can't get any milk, and plus he's too old to be trying to do that anyway. But I can't tell him that. My early money said that Doc would be the first one to get adopted, but he wasn't. It was Marty, who was also an orange tabby, but he just had more, he had broader and more distinct stripes on his back. But he was an orange tabby too. But I guess it's bath / nap time, so this will be as good a time as any to wind it down and finish my chores and go on home. But we will do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be on a somewhat normal schedule. We typically try to do this, there are exceptions always, but we typically try to do this around 5:30 in the afternoon Central Time. So that's what we're shooting for tomorrow. If there's any change, I will let you know in the room or in the chat at some point during the day or before it happens. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Clay, and thanks everybody else for watching, subscribing, for all the support. Couldn't have, well, we would have found a way to do this, but it would have been much more difficult without all of you guys helping us with this. So thank you again, and we will see you all tomorrow.